Okay, so I'm going to record that. This here's the so far 2 questions. I'm not sure we think 219 rows is the right answer for question number 1. Probably is. The number of rows for question number 2 is 100 and something. We thought songs about love, but I threw in some extra ink in there that we're searching regardless of case. So the number of rows may be a little bit different in coming up with the answer for number 2. The trick is converting whatever that you're querying all into the same case and then searching for that word. You can either convert to uppercase or convert to lowercase and search for a particular word or string of letters. Microsoft typically converts everything to uppercase whenever that they are executing anything. That's why Microsoft's command line is not case sensitive. So that's why I chose uppercase in this scenario. I wrote the word love in lowercase, so when you're actually querying it in your where statement and you figure out how to make the output be displayed in uppercase, you'll need to make sure that the word love is typed in uppercase when you're looking for it. And so Bethany, I think you said you got number 1 correct. If you get the number of rows, just put in the chat. If you're doing this from Zoom, type in the chat the number of rows that you found and for which question you found the number of rows. That way I can keep track of the pace that everybody's at. So Wade's found 114 rows for question number 2. It was 111 before? Okay. So we found 111 rows originally, and we got to reading question number 2 and thinking of it a little bit differently and doing some rework. The number of rows found is 114. Possibly. I've not run these queries. I'm just asking the question, and I bet those are the correct answers out there. Okay, so I also wanted to point out, like I said, on the 15th, I believe it is, registration opens up. You can actually go to the Vanguard portal and register classes yourself. It's probably great to try to get everything picked that first week so that you don't have to worry about scheduling and classes filling up. So to look at the classes, you can go to the ASUB website. You can go to course lookup, and I've been informed that you can go ahead and see the fall schedule. So if you're needing to build out CSNT classes, you would pick the term likely fall, you may need a class or two in the summer, math or something like that. I really like to take classes in the summer. They were, especially the classes that were not computer related. They were short 5 or 8 week classes and just got over with it. But for fall, computer systems and networking technology in fall, and then viewing the schedule, you can see all of the classes and their time slots. And of course, all seats are open for all time slots because registration is not open until the 15th. But you can go ahead and look at here. You can see all the time schedules and go ahead and start writing stuff out on how to avoid this Mr. Goodman that's a bad instructor, and get your schedule all built out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Especially for classes like LAN 2 in class. There's only 10 slots for it. So, yep. Check out your schedule and try to get that ready. And you can already start talking to your advisor. I think I'm the advisor for several people in here. So if you want to go ahead and look and kind of write out what you think that you need, it makes it quicker and faster to go through the degree audit and make sure everything looks pretty good. Y'all probably in track to take LAN 2, a lot of you. Some of you, half of you is just at a completely different level. Some of you are graduating, but yeah, everybody's at a different semester. But I know 3 of you is probably set to take LAN 2 and security and Cisco 3, likely. The rest of you are on your own schedule.
Yeah, I gotta sign up for summer math class.
Okay, so the 219 rows. That were found. So your select statement, what did he put in your select statement? Hopefully the word select. Followed by what?
Name.
So name, comma, composer, and price. From, and we said recurring to track table, right? So at least if you execute that by itself, you would come up with its unit price. Unit price. Okay, well, that's not correct. I shut down my database and restart it and try to figure out what the heck seems to have gone wrong with that. Execute, there we go. So, and I had to go to the last page here. There's 3,503 tracks, but at least that's the basis for the question that you should have been able to start with. Sorry about the unit price not being typed out correctly. Find all rows where the name column starts with the word the. So that was part of your, very similar to our question number 10, I think, or something, in our self-test. So where the name column, like, and then the word the with the percent sign would mean that the word the has to be at the beginning, and it doesn't matter what's at the end. That would solve this problem, and I didn't specify case sensitivity, although I did type the T there with the capital T, so you would have needed to use the same case there. And executing that, we'll come up with the 219 rows. So there's all of the tracks that start with the word the. 219 out of 3,503.
So, but the way we ran that, it's possible if the name of the song was Theodore or something like that, that it would actually pull it up. So you could put a space in between the and the.
Yeah, so
yeah.
There goes the neighborhood. That's a good thought. So as we scroll through and there's they,
Actually,
these. Yep. So if I did the space percent, that would be a better execution. So in this case, the correct answer, 210 rows found. So that's where querying takes some critical thinking and sometimes looking at the output and then realizing, oh, wait a second, there's more stuff in there that I wanted. So there's an art to this and a good lot of ways to miss and mess up, not get the right rows found. So that right there is the best one, where name like the space percent. That way it sees THE and then a space, and it doesn't, with the percent sign butted right up against it, it will pull any other word that starts with THE. Specifically, 9 songs had something else other than the word the at the beginning, but still started with THE. Okay. So look at question number 2. We've had 2 answers out of question number 2 so far. Originally 111 rows found, and then a modification was done and 114 rows were found. Has anybody else been able to find that?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
when I activated mine, I got 27 rows.
And here we go, resume recording. Okay, so started recording. So question number 2, I said you got to at least select name for it to be visible or select star. I went ahead and selected the same 3 columns as it did in question 1. Select from track where name is like, we use a single quote. And we're looking for the word love. I'm going to put it all in uppercase because I gave a little hint that you might want to convert it to all uppercase or all lowercase, one of the 2. That will get a better output. I'm going to go ahead and look for the word love. So I'm going to use a % and a space. And well, anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and collapse that down, just surround it with percents, because if it's at the beginning of the song name, it wouldn't have a space at the beginning of it.
It's at the end, it's not gonna space it.
And if it's at the end, it wouldn't have a space. So I'm going to have to put love and surround it. And then I'm going to take a phone call from Suddenlink. Okay, so back to here. So select everything. We're a name like love. Now, if I try to execute this, it's going to look for, whoa, cancel, stop. I don't want to do that. Got too much other just random words in there. Okay, so execute just that. Did I break it? I think I broke it. Maybe not. So I don't have anything because there's not uppercase love anywhere in the thing. If I do lowercase love or love with an L, I'll probably get something. Let's look at that. So I got 111 rows there. What if I make it lowercase? Then I find that there's 3 rows that are lowercase. So how do I get it to where I'm searching and case sensitivity is not a problem? So there's a function. This kind of goes into the next chapter. I don't know if it's actually in the next chapter, but we get into functions in chapter 10. I told you might need to Google how to convert to uppercase. There should just be a function called upper that you can run for Postgres. You may have to look specifically for Postgres to see if that's the function, and they don't do like uppercase, but I think upper is going to work. So I'm going to run it without looking at to verify that that's Postgres implementation of it. And I see that that works. So I can use this upper in other scenarios here. So if I put upper in the select statement, it doesn't have to be uppercase, but so if I just display, I'm not even going to limit anything down. Let's go and execute that. So notice the output in the name column, everything goes to uppercase. That's what the where statement would see if you put upper down here in the where statement. So I just wanted to, you can visually see because I put it up into the select. So that changes. Select is where the output is. And everything's uppercase. So that's what happened when I when I did question number 2 here, and I'm dealing with ASCII text, and it's case sensitive because it's delimited with single quotation marks. How do you search for something where case is not an issue? Well, there's a function, convert everything to uppercase, and then make sure whatever's after your predicate is typed in uppercase, and it'll be a match. So the correct answer appears to be 114 rows.
Mine's not showing any rows.
So I'm going to see if I can actually get rid of Lover Man and some stuff, because I mean, Lover Man, yeah, that is probably a song. I don't know if really about love or not, but Lover Man doesn't actually sound like a song about love. Not the kind of lover that I'm thinking of. Governor, let's not record these words. Okay, I'll resume and not get keywords found out there. Okay, so we've got Bethany's. Is this your screen? So select name from trackware, upper name like.
Space.
You got a space. You gotta get rid of the space after the percent. Now see if that will give you some information. I would have figured she would have had some rows. There we go. So you got 114.
Well, the space was after the percent, not before the percent. So
Oh, yeah.
before the,
Yep. If you just hit F5, Brian, then it tried to run both commands and it failed. Make sure you select.
No, that's what I did here.
Select and then right click and execute. Select star from track, wherever name like. Select it again and make sure you click on execute selection and not just execute, because I think it's still trying to run the that one, execute current statement.
It's trying to run it off.
It's trying to run it all.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, F8 is a shortcut for Studio Force that runs only what you have selected in blue, whereas F5 is trying to run everything. I don't know, mine's maybe a different version because that is grayed out. So I don't know why my version is probably different than your version. And it's auto. Maybe this is depreciated. Let's check out, let's compare version numbers. So I'm going to go to help and about. So I've got version 2.3.244. What version do you have, Brian?
2.3.2.44.
Well, it was a thought anyway. We had different versions. There's some type of property set somewhere. Something. There's so many different little settings. that configuration is different somewhere. So it's really going to be kind of difficult to eliminate.
In order to do it, you're gonna have to write multiple type statements. So like love space percent space love percent or no, percent space love and then percent space love space percent. Be able to get only love.
So I would need to,
But then you run into the problem with the
I'll need to deal with value expressions. So value expressions is not really what I quite wanted to go into. So value expressions allows you to check for things that are not the regular expressions. I'm using the wrong term. So a regular expression is what we would need to create
correct answer and not that.
So I would need to create, and this is kind of above what we're really at right now, but I'd need to create an and I could go ahead and still use upper. The name. And not. So I want to eliminate any word that has love with any other character after the word E. So I'm going to still go ahead and go percent love, but if it has any character A through Z, anything after that, I don't want to see it. So if it has an S on the end of love or an R for lover boy or whatever the things are, the parentheses there are regular expression. And you can do a whole lot of cool stuff with regular expression. You can search for patterns like phone numbers and social security numbers and stuff like that with regular expressions, and then pull information out of out of the database. So I'm going to check. Like, so this is above what we're really wanting to be at right now, but so
So no, we're not listening. You have not in the right spot. Should be and upper name, not like.
that's what I'm. Let's check that out. I wasn't quite prepared for running value expressions today and doing this combination.
Still 14.
Interesting. So what is? So like I said, I wasn't ready for value expressions today. They can, and so I've not worked with them in about 6 months or so. So the or. So we want to view where love would be in the middle. We want to view where love by itself would be in the front. Or we would want to view where love could be at the end.
Spaces between the percent for each of those. And then that first, the middle one,
Yeah, love in the
that would be in the front.
beginning. And love towards the end. And then love there. And then executing that. Yep. So that was 97 rows.
So 114 rows that has love anywhere, including other forms of the word. Only 97 of just the letter love.
Yep. Ready for the curveball?
Yeah, let's do it.
Show me the rows that are between 97 and 114 so that we can view those. So we're going to have 17 rows. I want to see the 17 rows that are that have love as part of the name. There's your curveball. There's probably several ways to do that. So we've only got 10 minutes. Am I recording this? Okay, yeah, we're recording this. So I was asking, I want to see those 17 rows that are the difference, just so that I can review them and make sure that we're actually getting the correct answer. So I've got 97 rows that appears to only have love in it, and that's looking pretty good, but I want to review those 17. And so I want to somehow eliminate these rows out of the 114 rows that were found. So how did we get the 114? Select name from track. And then we did where upper name like. And we just did percent love on uppercase percent. So that right there is executed. That's how I got the 114 rows. However, I want to eliminate the 97 rows out of that. And what that I would do is probably a subquery.
Got it.
If I have to do that, probably not. Let's see. Wade's got his done.
Found something. So
As like I said, there's a lot of different ways to do that.
we never thought of, well, what if it's the name of the song is literally just love? Because there's one song that's just named is love, so there wasn't a space before or after.
Yep.
And there's 3 that I see here that have love and then a closing parentheses. So it didn't take a comma as a character, but it will take parentheses as a character. So you missed those. But I did get 17.
Like I said, we're running slow here on time. And I was going going way more than the questions I was wanting to ask today.
Well, so all I did was change the where to where upper name is like the parentheses love, percentage love percentage without the space in it. And then change the ors to ands, and then add not to those statements.
Yeah,
And that would be your 17. You see here, we didn't cover that in the original statement, so we should have had one more there, and then these.
yep. So out of those 17, that's why I wanted to view those 17 rows.
Yeah, because then you could find out what we missed.
Mhm.
So we should be able to, how would you do, well, I guess you would just add a like statement for love parentheses. And then for this one, just love and parentheses. Or love in quotation.
Yeah, trying to come up with all the different contingencies. That's a pretty fun problem to try to deal with. Because then you got,
Then we got rid of the love. Oh, so
that should work.
that
Should get you down to, well, nope, that didn't eliminate percent sign in front of love instead of a space.
there we go.
Yeah, that'll knock those parenthesis rows down. So that's one way. There's a plethora of ways to write stuff out. And that's good though. We're learning that's actually what we're covering. We're not covering value expressions. We're not covering subqueries or anything like that yet. So that's a better way to look at it. Like I said, I jumped too far ahead. Like when you get a little bit that complex, got to sit down and prep ahead of time. Okay, so next week we're going to continue this. Chapter 10 moves into using functions. And that will help us get into Hacker Ranked a little more, because as we go into the grading or the weather station section, they want us to start calculating things. So that's next week. The next couple of weeks before spring break, we'll be doing a lot of working on query examples. This takes practice, quite a bit of practice.